Good morning, America. We appreciate each and every one of you. This is brought to you by Simply Clean Foods because Chance turned me on to this. This is incredible. This is when and where the riots are going to happen all this week. There's an organization called Public Citizens, which was started by Ralph Nader in 1971. Here are their offices, 1600 20th Street Northwest. This is all on the internet. Washington, D.C., 20009. Here's the number, 202-588-1000. 215 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C., 309 East 11th Street, Suite 2, Austin, Texas. This is all available on the internet. Now, Public Citizens received $7 million in grants and another $6 million in grants, $900,000 through publications, and they received $230,000 in lawsuits. And investment income. They received $18 million last year, primarily $14 million from you, the taxpayer, primarily from HHS and Department of Homeland Security. They currently have $21 million total revenue, total program. They currently have $26 million to run this campaign. This is Ralph Nader. I always knew there was something wrong with that freak. So here at nokings.org, thank you, Chance, and thank you, the person who had me on had Chance on his show. We're going to try to get him on our show. They're really hitting him up with censorship, but I don't have the On the Wall episode 1. On the Wall episode 1. We're buying clean foods because we know what's coming. They say they've defied our courts, deported Americans, disappeared people off the streets, attacked our civil rights, and slashed our services. The corruption has gone too far. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. Now, the fact that they filed a financial report means that they filed the members of the board of directors, which means you should be able to go into Public Citizens Foundation and find out who's on the board of directors, but it doesn't say. Violation of a few IRS regulations. We always report it, but as the type of corporation we have, we're not required to report it. But I tell the IRS everything because I feel like better when I do that. Even though I don't have to, I feel better. Anyway, organizations, so they received $14 million from the U.S. government, from Biden, to do this. So let's go to, in America, we don't have kings. Yeah, that's why James Comey, head of the FBI, his daddy ran the SS, and his daughter's running the P. Diddy Combs trial, and that's why Rosenstein's daddy ran the Gestapo, the secret police. These are the people who are putting up the riots as a smokescreen to try to whack Trump. Do you think he'd be smart enough to call me? No. Now, you can host an event. You can host a toolkit. Now, this is every event that they're hosting across the country. Now, every police force needs to see this. These are the key cities they want to burn. Here in Arizona, which has always been a lawless state. Austin, Texas, over here. Washington, D.C., and up here in Chicago. They want to burn those cities to the ground. But watch this. Let's put in a zip code. Let's put in, this guy who was talking on the, he put in 83477, which is Salmon, Idaho. 83477. Sorry, I'm not a good typist, as you can see. Well, so far, 83447, I'm sorry. Salmon, Idaho is a place I want to move to, but of course the FBI stole all my money, so I ain't moving there. 83447. Well, let's try 98444. This is where I live. So we tried 98444, and this is what we got. They're going to have a rally in Enumclaw, Puyallup, a riot in Tacoma, another riot in Tacoma, a riot in Gig Harbor, and a riot in Olympia, a riot in Federal Way. Now, we can't make this map any better because they kind of slopped this over. But let's see what's happening in my town. People's Park, Tacoma, Washington, RSVP, Saturday, June 14th, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. So from noon to 2, they're going to create a riot in central Tacoma. How about in Washington, D.C.? Oh, yeah, Philadelphia, Virginia, Maryland, everywhere. They're going to create this mess everywhere. Let's, oh, there we go. We can pull it down. Let's see if we can get out in the middle of nowhere. Missoula, Saturday, June 14th. This event will address private. Sign up for more details. Missouri, they don't have a place. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Oh, let's go way up here in northern Montana. No Kings, Havre, Montana, noon to 1. Oh, let's go down to L.A. where all the riots are occurring. That ought to be right about here near Bakersfield. Ouija, California, 11 to 1. Now, you can host this if you want. You want to help burn down No Kings March, Dolly Plaza, Chicago, Illinois. Hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people are going to be paid to show up there. Let's see what they're going to do to the marmots in Salt Lake. I call them marmots instead of Mormons. It's kind of a derogatory term, but there we go. Pedestrian bridge over I-80. Meet the back of the whole Fonz parking lot near Eastern Washington Park. They're going to stop traffic in Salt Lake. Let's see if the Salt Lake Mormons have the guts to stop them. Doubtful, because if they arrest them, the FBI will arrest them. Oh, let's see. Let's pull this down a little bit. Let's see what they're going to do in Minnesota, the home of the governor who's a witch. No Kings in Gaylord. This event, Gaylord, Minnesota. Nebraska, right in the middle of Nebraska. North Platte, where nobody lives, they're going to have a rally from 11 to 2. Nevada, in the middle of the desert where we launched, right in the middle of where we launched our nukes. 2,500 in Nevada, our worst enemy. In Duckwater, Nevada, 10 to 11. See if they got Pahrump. Nothing. Oh, there's Vegas. That should be Pahrump. Pahrump, 10 to 11. 10 to 11 a.m. on the 14th, the organization called No Kings, run by public citizens who don't give the name of the people, but they do give their addresses. They graciously give their addresses, and I'm going to hold it up for 7 seconds so you can go online. This is all online. This isn't offline. Let's make sure we're recording because, you know, our success with the Phoebes. That's what they call FBI. When I went through the law enforcement course, I thought the FBI was a pretty cool organization. And then, as I'm sitting there doing law enforcement for the Forest Service, I realized I'm a white male. They're going to lay me off in the fall. And the news story came out in the Weaverville newspaper that said the FBI, no, it was actually in the Eureka newspaper, Eureka, California. It said the FBI put mold in dope and killed over 124 people in the last month from the mold they put in dope. And I thought, ha ha, funny, funny. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized it's just plain murder. Now, if you go here, this is Microsoft Word. This is their financial report. In other words, the FBI knows who runs this and has been funding this for years. Public Citizens Financial Statement. Probably a lot of CIA in there, too. This is the Public Citizens Foundation, Inc. Financial Statement, September 30th, 2024. It's done by Caliber 7501 Wisconsin Avenue, Suite 1200 West, Bethesda, Maryland, 20814. Now we can enlarge this. Well, we can enlarge it up here. No, we can enlarge it here. So you can actually take a window shot of all that. Board of Directors, Public Citizens Foundation. So they know who's running the riots. They know special RSVP to Philadelphia, Virginia, Maryland, free DC and DC Joy Day, a community-led event in the district. We don't know who's... So, toolkit. What do you get for your toolkit? What is No Kings? They explain it. State play. Why we're mobilizing. Hosting your own. So this is all organized. These riots are all organized, and now you know who organizes them. Now you have the rest of the story. You know who's organizing these riots. Host. See, I can host this. No King's National Day of Mobilization. I could actually host it in Tacoma. They train you. Know your rights training. So they want the illegal aliens in there. No King's Call for veterans and military families. No King's Marshal training. So they train you how to fight, and they train you what your rights are. This is all training right here in there. It's right on the internet. The art, posters, and graphics. You can call for artists. Social. Spread the word. You can spread the word, and we're spreading the word. This is where you find out information to go to the rally, so I guess we're spreading the word. Partners. So who are their partners? Activate America, ACLU, Human. I want you to be able to write all of this down. Bernie Sanders, Care to Action. These are people who gave money to it. Climate Psychology Alliance. These are all funded by your government. ACLU is funded by your government through lawsuits. There's a lot of people funding this. Greenpeace, Grassroots, Gain Power, Hold the Line, Human Rights, I'm You. People I didn't even know. Michigan League of Conservation Voters, which is a government-funded organization. Manhattan Young Democrats, Mennonite Action. Yeah, right, like the Mennonites are funding this. Move On. Of course, they're a Destroy America organization. Look at that. It looks like an atom bomb coming down. It looks pretty weird. The Oregon League of Conservation Voters. I'm sure the conservation voters are really funding this. So when you pay your money to the Audubon Society, the Oregon Conservation Society, you're funding organizations to kill America. Sierra Club. Where's the Audubon Society? Are they still around? Audubon. They got to be in here somewhere. American Airlines, or Americans United, I'm sorry. No, I don't see the Audubon Society. They must be out of business for all I know, or they're owned by somebody who then funds this. Chicago Women Take Action. Oh, who's this? Oh, look, it's 666. Right there. 666 with the United States symbol. It says Field Team. Field Team 6. Like they're supposed to be like Special Forces 6. Bunch of wimpoids. Hold the Line. So you give to any of these organizations and you're supporting the destruction of America. Pride at Work, the Gay Pride Organizations, Physicians for Social Responsibility, Progressive Democrats of America, of course. Sierra Club, yeah, give to the Sierra Club so they can destroy America. Some kind of a union, UE. Wisconsin Conservation Voters. Another conservation voters. You give your money, you think you're helping the Ducks Unlimited, and all you're doing is destroying America. Washington Conservation Action. Go ahead, give to a conservation organization and destroy America. Give to your church. They may be funding this too. Spice Coalition, the Tyrannus or Native Justice Foundation beats the heck out of me. There's a lot of organizations that Rogan's list. There's a lot of organizations that get a lot of funding from Pasco Resist. A lot of organizations that get a lot of money from the federal government. And they're all protesting because the money's running out. But you can see that apparently it's not running out. That in 2014, let's see, they have $1 million in cash. They have investments and over $26 million investments plus $24 million in hand. They have $50 million. Total assets, $35 million to draw on. Charitable gift annuity. So when you buy a charitable gift annuity, With these people, you're talking about destroying the planet, starting a full-scale atomic explosion all over the world. Net assets, 26 million. Total liabilities and net assets, 35 million. So somebody's funneling a lot of money to these people. Contributions, grants. Who knows the real story? Sure, anybody can read this chart, but knowing what it means, who knows? And there it is. Financial statement, classification of assets, organization. Organization is required to have members of the board of directors, but they don't have it. So they're in violation of the IRS regulation. As of September, total assets at fair value were approximately 4.177 or 3.302 respectively. And that's pretty convoluted. But they get away with it every year. Looks like every year. So I guess this is how you do it if you're an accounting firm. Because the organization, this organization, no kings, this organization, Public Citizens, is not responsible for its financial report. Just like Trump was not responsible for his financial reports. The accountant is. It's law. I went through the IRS classes. I'm IRS tax certified. Which means the accountant, you, are liable for everything you put down on paper. Not the owner of the company. So the financial report, pretty extensive. Caliber is responsible for what's in this financial report. So, Public Citizens comes out scot-free on that issue. Because again, you're not liable for your taxes if somebody else does your taxes. At least that's the law. So look at a faithful America. Oh yeah, we're going to give money to faithful America so they can contribute and destroy American conservation, Colorado. Care in actions, the Catholics. Don't frack your mother? Oh, that's frickin' gross. Amarillo protest coordinators. Why are these people not in jail? So here again, no Kings America. We're going to go back to news. And they're going to just keep doing what they're doing because they can. Nobody's going to stop them. FBI won't arrest them because they help fund them. The CIA is funding them. Homeland Security won't arrest them. So that's how you find out where the riots are going to be. They sue American citizens. They throw them out of the country. They make them disappear. They're a very powerful organization, making government work, protecting. It all sounds so good. Globalization and trade. Until you realize they're there to destroy America. Oh, it kicked me out of the website. Well, let's see if we can go to No Kings. Pretty interesting when you find out how well funded it is and how many people support it. So we're going to end it now because that'll give you an opportunity over the next few minutes to find out. And riots will continue. Here's who's organizing the riots. NoKings.org. Public Citizens. That's called citizens.org. Tell me they don't list the people who pay citizens.org money to keep this website at. Tell me this is a free website. Right. But they even give their frickin' address. God bless. Thank you very much. Oh, look at that. Public Citizens. Membership, 800-289-3787. Who's paying for that telephone number? Public Citizens Charitable Donations, 202-588-7734. Who's paying for that number? Who's paying for 588-1000? Who registered member at citizens.org? who registered democracy in actions. Those riots are not peaceful. We used to call that treason, but I don't know what President Trump's going to do about it. He hasn't arrested anybody yet. God bless. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.